Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Chainlink. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to check that out before watching this one. It's going to be in the top right-hand corner of the video. Also, I want to mention the two donation links down below in the description. Those links will take you to official websites where you can donate to support the Ukrainian refugees or Ukraine's military. Thank you all for understanding and thank you all for donating. The special offer that I have for you guys now, I am affiliated with ExpressVPN and they do have a nice deal for you over here. So $6.67 for 15 months, 30 days, money guaranteed back. They have servers in 94 countries. And if you don't want the government spying on you and you don't want your local network providers spying on you, then a VPN is the best thing that you can use to protect yourself and protect your data. And you can also pay in Bitcoin. Like I said, 30 days risk-free, no activity logs and no connection logs. Apps available for every single possible phone or laptop that you can imagine. So the link is in the description. Now jumping into Chainlink on the daily chart, this is TradingView. As you can see, we do have this channel that we were in. So these blue trend lines over here represent a channel that we were in, and we lost this channel here on May 9th, okay? And we have gone back into the channel, but this is considered a fake out because we couldn't really hold above it. We didn't hold this channel as support. We broke down below in a very powerful impulsive move to the downside. Now, I do want you to pay attention to this white trend line over here that I'm extending right now. So this is our support trend line for now because it was a very strong resistance trend line for multiple weeks over here. We did break out of it. We did back test it as support and we came back to this trend line once again. We had another move to the upside. We did wick slightly below, but it's important we don't close a candle below this white trend line because at that point we would have more targets to the downside. So for now, I would be targeting the white trend line. It is sitting at somewhere at $5.50, and we could potentially get a rejection from the 20 EMA and come back all the way down here, right? Because we're seeing a little relief rally right now, which is understandable because we did have quite the dump over the last couple of days for Bitcoin. We did drop below $20,000, but whales are accumulating thousands of Bitcoins, and that's why I'm accumulating as well, because if the whales, if the like all the billionaires that are holding so much Bitcoin, if they're not selling, if they are only adding to their portfolio, then I don't think they're doing that just, for the fun of it. No, I do think they know where Bitcoin is heading. I know where Bitcoin is heading. Question is, do you know where Bitcoin and crypto is heading? If you have the answer, then, this channel is for you because we are pro crypto here. So potentially we could have a little swing trade possibility here. As you can see, the 20 EMA could reject us. We're sitting at $7.05 on the 20 EMA. We could get rejected from there and come back down. The 786 fib over here is at $6.94 or 95 cents. And this could reject us as well. And you could potentially take some profits at these levels over here, at these levels. If I just take a rectangle over here, so this zone over here, this would be a nice zone to take some profits and look for a potential move to the downside. Potentially, you could enter back at the golden ratio. So let's say you sell at the 786, you could buy back in at the golden ratio at $6.50, which is a nice 6% trade for you. So a nice little swing trade here. You could short potentially after you hit the 20 EMA, but I don't do futures. I don't do leverage. I only trade on spot. Now, if you want more trade alerts, more swing trade alerts, then head over to my Patreon. I do post all of my trade alerts in there. The link is going to be down below in the description. Now, also, I would like you to pay attention to the blue trend line over here because we have lost this as support for the second time, right? And we haven't had that back test of resistance. So potentially you could run into the blue trend line over here get rejected, which is sitting somewhere at $7.60. And from there, you have a move back to the downside and potentially coming all the way back down to the white trend line over here. So that's something that you want to keep an eye on. And like I said, if you do break this blue trend line, look for the back test of support because that is very important, okay? And if you're waiting for a confirmation, then a good confirmation for you on the daily chart would be when the 20 EMA would cross the 55 EMA, right? That would be your bullish cross. That would be the confirmation of the uptrend. And, you could see some more gains from there. But I'm buying throughout the dip. I have a good position with Chainlink, and I'm going to be taking profits at $100 at least during the next bull market. But so you have a little swing trade over here. If we jump into the daily RSI, I know it's a bit confusing with all these trend lines, so I'm going to remove a couple of them just so we can focus on one, and then I'll bring those back a bit later. So pay attention to the yellow trend line. As you can see, we have one bounce of support over here, second bounce over here, then we lost it as support, had a little fake out above it, and right now we're potentially moving all the way to the upside for a back test of resistance. That is exactly where we run into the 20 EMA on the price action, and then we come back lower. Adding the orange trend line over here. So we have one touch back in April this year, we have another touch here at the end of May, and we did drop below it over here after we broke through the orange trend line, and we haven't really back tested it as support. We did have a move to the trend line, but we didn't really back test it as support. So potentially I would look for a move all the way down to the orange trend line if we see another capitulation. But if we do drop all the way down here into the oversold, that would be your best opportunity to buy into Chainlink. And I do think that is potentially going to happen at the end of June. Now, bringing back the white trend line over here, you can see that we did have two touches here in January. We had a couple of touches in spring, a little fake out in May over here. And, we are not really adhering to this trend line anymore, so you don't really need it on your charts. But like I said, if we do end up coming back down, this could potentially be a resistance level for us in the future. That's why I have it on, just so I have a lot more possibilities of swing trading. And bringing back the light blue trend line over here, or the teal trend line, you can see that we have one touch over here in May, second touch of resistance at the end of May, and a third touch of resistance on June 15th. So potentially the blue trend line could get us rejected as well. We had a little fake out here in early June, but we didn't hold the trend line as support, so it's still resistance, and that is another trend line where you could look for a potential swing trade. So it's not that confusing after all. It's just that I have a lot of trend lines here. That's how I like my charts, because I do like to see where the RSI resistance corresponds with the price action resistance. And you don't have to have all of those. Obviously, you could just have a couple of them, but I like to have multiple resistance and support trend lines. Now, I do want to switch over to the Binance website. Switching over to the weekly chart on the Binance website, we do have a swing high over here in November and the swing low of the Fib retracement back in July of last year. We have lost this swing low here in April, and we have gone all the way down to our technical target at $6.85. That was a great entry for anyone. Yes, you have lost a little bit. Yes, we could potentially come back down to $4.56, but entering Chainlink at $7 is a great opportunity in my opinion, because if you are bullish on this project long term, then you don't really care whether you buy it $4, $5, $6. That's my mindset. My average entry price for Chainlink is $7 exact. Yeah, $7. And if we go lower here and we touch the second Fib level with the potential capitulation that we might get because of the recession, then I'm going to be buying more Chainlink tokens over here. So $4.60, I would say, just have the buy order slightly above the support so that you have more chances of getting filled. Okay, that's a little tip for you. Also, potentially look for a rejection of this resistance here at $12.65, because this was a support trend line that we have held over here. In February of this year, we lost it, and now we're looking for a back test of resistance before we print a double bottom pattern, or we print a higher low, or we potentially go down and print a lower low. No one knows what's going to happen, but a potential backtest of resistance could be a nice little trade for you. Even if you enter right now, that would be a nice 94% trade. And I don't think that's a bad trade for anyone. So if we jump into the weekly RSI here, you can see that we are in a falling wedge. So the light blue trend lines represent a falling wedge where we are getting tighter and tighter in this apex. And eventually you are going to break to the upside. Hopefully this is a bullish reversal pattern. That's why the bias is towards the upside. But you could always break to the downside if we have a recession. And usually sometimes when you lose the support of a bullish pattern, you could come back into it and still get your target, okay? And still carry out the target. So the target here basically is this level where the pattern was created. So let's see what happens here. We're getting tighter and tighter. You have this white trend line here, which is a support as well, and we're just breaking above it. But the important trend lines here are the light blue trend lines, and let's see what happens. We could potentially run into resistance here into July, come back down for another capitulation, and then break out towards the end of the year. Let's see what happens. Draw this out on the weekly RSI, and yeah, the stochastic is in the oversold, great entry point, and the MACD is very much overextended to the downside. So thank you all for watching. If I missed out anything on the charts, please let me know down below in the comment section. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. I do post technical analysis in there, and I do post some interesting updates, and I do retweet interesting posts as well from other people. Also, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I do have a Patreon. It's a great way to support me and a great way for you to get more exclusive content like low cap jump calls, project reviews, market sentiment analysis, TA requests, video requests, and all of that is going to be on my Patreon. I do daily uploads in there as well. So thank you all. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.